In news that probably isn't surprising to anyone, Marvel Comics is continuing to go down the ESG pipeline by diversifying their cast of characters that they have. This is something that many moviegoers have seen within the MCU the last several years, but according to some of the latest rumors, they're going to start backpedaling on that aspect of it because, well, frankly, it hasn't been working for them. It hasn't been working for the comic book either, but still, they want to ride that train into the ground. They're just going to keep doubling and tripling down on this diversity, equity, and inclusion stuff until they literally can't sell anything more, because we're getting news now that the latest iteration of Hawkeye is gonna be not only non-binary but also a Native American who identifies as Two-Spirit. This story is coming from the direct right here. Marvel writer confirms our new Hawkeye is non-binary. Marvel Comics has a new legacy hero with the newest Hawkeye debuting this week. Marvel Comics introduced the newest character to take on the Hawkeye mantle, with Charlie Ramsey being the company's first non-binary legacy hero. While Charlie is not the first non-binary Marvel character by any means, they are the first to don the mantle of an established hero. In their case, Clint Barton and Kate Bishop, a legacy hero who uses the Hawkeye name concurrently with Clint. Now, on the surface, you would think some of these groups that are being represented here would find this kind of stuff patronizing, because I don't know, if it were just me and I wanted to have representation for my group, if I was a part of one of these groups and I actually cared about that sort of thing, then I would want a new character, not just like a hand-me-down from someone else's character. But that's basically what they're saying when they do this sort of thing, saying like, you're not good enough to have an original character, but we'll let you co-opt someone else's character. They joined the ranks of other legacy heroes like Sam Wilson, Captain America, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Kamala Khan, Miss Marvel, Laura Kinney, Wolverine, Jane Foster, Thor, and of course Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. Basically all hand-me-down titles that they're given to these characters. Introducing in Ultimate 5, Charlie Ramsey as Hawkeye on Earth 6160, the universe of Marvel's Ultimate line, created in 2023. That's kind of when that wasn't when Marvel Comics stopped selling, but that really wasn't a good run for them. Charlie is non-binary, identifying as Two-Spirit, and also comes from the Oglala band of the Native American Lakota Nation tribe. So they're really checking off a lot of boxes here. The only thing that they can add more is maybe put a disability in there too. Is this character deaf, visually impaired? That would be hilarious. A blind Hawkeye too, or they can just go the Echo route and just give this character a mechanical leg or something like that. I don't know, but I think there's still some more work that you could be doing with this Hawkeye in order to check off some more of those diversity boxes. The new Ultimate Universe is a world with no superheroes, as designed by the maker of the original Ultimate Universe, Reed Richards. And what they basically did is you have some characters that are trying to establish heroes within this universe. Tony Stark and his allies are working towards restoring what has been changed on Earth 6160 by recruiting would-be heroes and setting them on the superhero path. As part of this effort, Tony Stark tried to recruit Earth 6160's Clint Barton, giving him archery equipment and a video message, but Clint declined. And then this character, Charlie Ramsey, discovers that equipment and decides to take it for, I guess, themselves. I don't know. It's pretty weird. I'm just using the they, them just for the sake of expediency when I'm reading this. It is still ridiculous. It's still just very much a guy, but if I'm reading through this, I'm not going to correct myself while I'm going through it. So let's just point that out right now. Eventually, though, Charlie, who despises Roxxon's energy partners and its treatment of Native Americans, comes across the gear and message. They interpret it as being meant for them, and so they took the discarded archer equipment and adopted the name Hawkeye. Now, obviously, this character being a Native American and also being in opposition to an energy company takes direct reference to real-world stories like the Dakota Access Pipeline. So the creators of this iteration of the character are not being shy about the agenda they're trying to push when it comes to this character. The writers of the creators of this character had this to say about it. There have been a lot of questions about Charlie's gender, and I'm wary to talk about this stuff outside the book itself. It feels a bit like cheating, but I know it means a lot to people, so I wanted to make a comment. When I did my research into water protection Standing Rock, something that was emphasized again and again was the importance of queer and two-spirit organizers to the movement. I wanted to put that into the book. The author did say that they didn't want to make the big deal about the they them pronouns. They're like, well, that's just what the character would have referred to themselves as, or at least that's what they think the character would have referred to themselves as. So yes, it's not a big deal, but yet they still have to emphasize and let people know it's like, no, this character is still they, them. And I do love how they're trying to talk about the plight of various groups, stuff like that. I mean, pretty much like something you would expect from a lot of typical college people. They just learn about something like 10 minutes ago, and then suddenly that's the cause that they're really concerned about. Now, I'm not saying that's necessarily what they're doing here, but it just kind of strikes me as that's what's going on with it. But either way, I don't think this is really a good approach for what they're trying to do, because it's like I've said in the past, I don't have a problem with having different characters. If you want to do a Native American representation, stuff like that, then be my guest. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But create original characters and more original characters as opposed to basically just trying to appropriate other people's characters. And also, I thought it was kind of funny, though. One of the big trademarks of Hawkeye is that he uses a bow. So for this character, it's like, oh, well, they use a bow, so they have to be a Native American. I like how there's even feathers in his hair here. Well, maybe they should just have him wear war paint and a war bonnet or something like that, too. I mean, let's just go all out with us here. This is something in another context I can see people actually protesting and trying to cancel by basically just being a stereotypical representation of Native Americans. Maybe it will happen. It's a possibility, or maybe because it's also checking off some of the other boxes that it gets a pass. I don't know. Time will only tell. But one thing is for sure, I don't think it really needs to be canceled for this not to sell well, because comics last couple of years, it's not like they've been selling well to begin with. A lot of this stuff, people will say this is an example of get woke, go broke. And I don't necessarily believe that that's the case. I think what happens is you see Marvel Comics and DC Comics and other things like that start to suffer with their sales. So as a result, they're like, well, we need to shake things up a bit. We see these vocal groups online. So maybe they're a large portion of our audience. So if we pander to them and hire people that pander to them, then maybe we can actually regain some sales. And come to find out, no, that doesn't work, because not only did your original audience leave because they're turned off by a lot of the stuff that you're trying to push, but these other people that you're trying to pander to are the vocal minority and they don't actually show up to buy your product. So that's why it's kind of just a bad idea to try to pander to them. But I don't know. That's just what I think about all this. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button if you want to stay up to date with the latest entertainment news. And don't forget to click that like button and share this video out there, because it really helps out with the channel. Thank you.